Hello my friends and welcome back. It's Monday, it's a new week. Happy Monday to you and you're going to have a fantastic week. But you know what didn't have a very good end of the last week? Of course it was the Okhotnik Russian secret stealth drone. It's a badass new Russian drone, only 2 of them ever built, and we have a very clear-cut video of one of them being shot down. What's even better, supposedly it happened by a friendly fire. First of all, Okhotnik, look, this is it. Looks awful lot like the United States B-2 bomber. Of course, it's not anywhere close to the capability of the B-2, and it's a lot smaller, but it looks like it. Almost like a copycat, actually. Also, it has a star rating on it. Now, this is not the Soviet Red Star, don't get confused. This is 1 out of 5 stars rating of the plane. It's a 1-star drone. Now, supposedly what you're seeing on this video is a Russian Su, I don't know which one, supposedly 57, ain't no way it's a 57, but it's a Russian fighter jet right here. This is the Okhotnik drone, and they're going to have a little friendly interaction, a raid on raid, as you would say. Wait for it. Boom, missile released. Connection, explosion, Okhotnik continues its flight path, Su turns back, and now Okhotnik is deciding to connect to the ground, doesn't want to be a bird or a plane anymore. Very cool video to watch. And even cooler, if you know that only 2 of them were ever built. Okay, maybe 3, maybe 4, but definitely under 5. There are currently conflicting reports regarding the shooting down of the plane. In one instance, it is claimed to be a Ukrainian jet. Others claim it was a Russian plane shooting down the malfunctioning UAV so that it does not fall in Ukrainian hands. If the latter happened, then it partially failed, but the remains of the UAV landed on a Ukrainian-controlled soil. The cost of one unit is around 15 to 18 million. Now, this is the falling of the Okhotnik. Looks awesome. Once again, the photo of the drone, it looks pretty cool. I gotta hand it to them. Looks awesome. Now let's look the continuation of the video where it left off, and here you can actually see the Okhotnik falling down. It wishes to be a giraffe on the ground, not a bird in the sky. Soon it will be. Soon, my friends. Soon your dreams will come true. And here it is. It's now a giraffe on the ground. Now, suppose the Russians shot it down because there's only 2 in existence, and it's a stealth drone, right? I don't think it's not stealth, definitely. Russians cannot produce stealth. But it's, according to Russians, it's a stealth drone with no analogs in the world, so they shot it down to prevent it being claimed by the Ukrainians. Well, here are the Ukrainians walking over this drone and actually taking it, what I can only assume is to be CIA headquarters. Whatever they do with it, I think Americans will get information about this drone. Honestly, I would go as far as to claim that the United States doesn't really win anything from it. Russians are decades behind in technology if it comes to stealth, so there's not much to learn from it. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Now that's what's left of the engine, most of it burnt, but there are some parts definitely that can be reverse engineered to find out that there was nothing new in it. Because these drones, or anything new or stealth or high-tech that Russia produces, is filled with Western parts, even nowadays. Russian fighter bomber channel stated it was the Su-57 which shot down the S-70. That is weird because the Su-57 is supposed to be the biggest, baddest and the newest Russian stealth fighter, 5th generation fighter. Now, I don't believe it is. Russia cannot produce stealth. And the Okhotnik S-70 is supposed to be the stealth drone. Now, supposedly this new stealth fighter shot down the new stealth drone. Yeah, it's a nice fairy tale, but it's just a regular Russian fighter shooting down another regular Russian drone. Su-70 is created to cooperate with the Su-57. Both share many common technologies. Russia had 4 operational S-70s. Now it has 3. Sounds like the S-70 was uncontrollable and running independently. Su-57 destroyed it rather than crash it intact on Ukrainian territory. Yes, this was their opinion as well. Still a lot of shared Su-57 S-70 technology is being transported to the US right now. Oh boy, very nice. They're ordering pizza in the CIA headquarters. Growing up, cereal was one of the best parts of my day. As an adult, it has too much sugar and not enough protein. With Magic Spoon, I am able to enjoy one of my favorite childhood snacks again. Magic Spoon fits a variety of diets. It's high protein, no sugar, and great for carb-conscious lifestyles. Magic Spoon cereal has 13 to 14 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 to 5 grams of net carbs in each serving, so you can feel good about what you're eating. Magic Spoon is childhood reinvented. It's the same great taste that you remember, but upgraded with grown-up ingredients. Magic Spoon's brand new treats are crispy, crunchy, and airy without the chewy thickness of a protein bar. Magic Spoon's treats have 11 to 12 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and 1 to 2 grams of net carbs, so you can always get the fuel you need on the go. Use my code Estonian69 or click the link in the description to try Magic Spoon cereal or treats today and get $5 off. You can also find Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee online. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund you your money. No questions asked. So click the link in the description to go to magicspoon.com/Estonian69 for $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring today's video. My friends, in this video, it's quite beautiful to watch because this is Ukraine using 3 different Storm Shadow missiles on 3 different Russian command posts. It is wonderful. We see the kabooming, and it's just, you know, using the words of a philosopher. Very nice. The command posts of the 35th and the 27th separate motorized rifle brigades, as well as one of the command posts of the 2nd Combined Arms Army of the Russian Armed Forces, were hit. Ooh la la! King of the castle! I began this video with destruction of Russian equipment and hitting Russian command posts, but it continues for a while, so if you don't like that subject, well, bad for you, because now Russian decision-making centers have been struck, have been hit. And by decision-making centers, I of course mean 2 alcohol plants. I'm not kidding you. 2 distilleries were struck in Belgorod and Voronezh regions by unidentified UAVs. Now, in Voronezh and Belgorod, it is like 99% Ukrainian drones that hit those areas almost all of the time. But they hit distilleries. Why are Ukrainians prioritizing destroying Russian vodka-making centers? I mean, maybe they know something that we don't, but because by all means, vodka is the perfect weapon of Ukrainians against Russians. I mean, drop it by the gallons, by the liters to the Russian trenches. Let them drink it, and then you eliminate Russian army just like that. They love vodka, and they destroy themselves with it. I wouldn't destroy these vodka centers. Feodosia. I know you want this part to be over. You're done with Ukraine hitting Russian positions, but hey, I'm not done with it. It's Monday. I'm gonna drown you in this for Monday's edition. Ukraine struck a Russian oil depot in Feodosia, occupied Crimea. Ukraine has recently claimed they've essentially stopped Russia from being able to use the land bridge, roads and rail to supply Crimea through occupied Ukraine from the north. And it's a beautiful kaboom. Wow, look at that. It's a nice little warm fire. 3 of them to be exact. And what is burning? Well, of course, Russian oil depot. 3 fuel silos up in flames. We're talking tens of millions of oil burning, heating the atmosphere, just like the Russians like it. Now, my friends, I'm not gonna say much. Just look at this video. Bada boom! And look at this! What is this? This is a turret way ahead of the flames. Look at it, still up in the air. Wow, this has to be a new record. I remember covering these videos at the beginning first year of the war, because at that time Russia just had a lot of tanks filled with ammunition. They went kaboom all the time. Now they don't so much because Russia just doesn't have that many tanks anymore. Well, in this case, a Russian tank suffers a massive catastrophic ammunition explosion after a Ukrainian FPV drone hit it, sending its turret flying hundreds of feet into the air, and it looks like somebody did the measuring here, but 250 feet, 76 meters, it gotta be the highest turret toss I've seen in a year. Very nice. A Russian military blogger, 13th, so was his code name, was detained in Novopavlovsk. Previously, he had repeatedly criticized the Russian authorities. Yegor Guzenko fought in Donbass since 2014, as well as 2019 in Syria. When the Russian full-scale invasion began, he was under house arrest for shooting a man in the face with a flash noise cartridge from a Pioneer aerosol gun, and later for using the flash noise gun in the air. On 6th of March, he cut off an electronic bracelet. Oh, we got a fugitive in our hands, with which he could be tracked by FSIN, arranged through acquaintances in the DPR to come to them, and fled to war. See, this war zone, or DPR and LNR, People's Republic, this is Russian criminal hub. Everybody who is fugitive in Russia or in some kind of a trouble with the law, they can just go to DPR or LNR, and Russian authorities will stop looking for them, because for them, DPR is like a human trash pile. You send everybody there and they will work for you anyway, because they will destabilize Ukrainian country by just being there. You flee to war. This is what Russian criminals do. And this is what they did before Ministry of Defense offered it to them officially. Well, since then he has been trying to officially go to war through the Russian Ministry of Defense, but has been denied due to a criminal case. Russian Ministry of Defense loves criminals in their ranks, but not anti-Putin criminals. I mean, this guy loves war. He just doesn't like the way Putin is conducting this war, and this is why he's not accepted. Not because he's a criminal. Now, my friends, jumping to Israel for a moment, because, as I said many times, in my strong belief, the conflict between Israel and every country surrounding it, whoever country is aggressive to Israel, is funded by Iran, which is funded by Russia, and now more directly, it doesn't even have to be Russia through Iran, it's Russia directly, because the IDF captured another cache, how do you say this? How do you say this? Cache of weapons and ammunition given to them by Putin, so that the H group and H group 2 could do bad things. The thing is, these weapons are Russia's weapons sent directly to H group fighters, meaning that the conflict against Israel is fueled by Russia. Now, these two groups, starting with the H, they could not continue the fight with that weaponry, and that weaponry is coming from Iran and Russia, either of which could not do this without each other. Russia is using Iranian drones against Ukraine every day. Iran is developing new ballistic missiles and drones thanks to Russia. It's all connected. It's the same conflict. They are the axes of evil. Without them, these two H groups could not fight anymore. Now we go straight to Donetsk People's Republics, where you can see Ukritia, which is a bomb shelter. They have built this new bomb shelter. But Donetsk People's Republic is like the mother of corruption in Russia. It is actually Ukraine, but it's, Russian People's Republic. It is where all the criminals go. It is where all the corruption is. And to illustrate this is a bomb shelter designed to protect people, but it's made out of insulating foam. Now, I don't think this foam will actually stop shrapnel. If you have any experience with this foam, I'm sure if you put a lot of it, it will stop. But this amount, I don't think you're supposed to pull pieces away from a bomb shelter like that. Yikes. This is how corruption kills. Now we go to the autocrat of Hungary. I don't like the guy, Viktor Orban. He's very much anti-European Union and is very much pro-Russia. I don't understand why Hungarians are voting for him at all, because Hungary is being punished because of Viktor Orban's actions by the European Union by fining it by the millions, meaning European Union is not giving Hungary money, meaning Viktor Orban is literally causing Hungary to lose altogether tens of billions of euros from the Brussels, which could be used to build highways, schools, hospitals. I mean, why do I know this? Because we in Estonia, we get this money and it's really good for us. I mean, you go out on the highways, they're clean, they're nice, they're new. Hospitals, new, modern. Schools are being erected, built. This is European Union's money. My country is winning so much from it. So would be Hungary, but thanks to Viktor Orban, who is breaking the democratic foundations of the European Union in his country, EU is fining him. Now what does he has to say about it? Let's see. And in the end, we do what we say. Better if the mayor of Brussels is getting ready. Because if they continue to harass us with all kinds of punishments from Brussels, they will get what they want. We will transport the migrants to the main square on buses. Now, he is threatening Brussels with an immigration weapon which is most fielded by Russia and Belarus in the last 2 years. He is in the EU and he threatens to flood Brussels with migrants. This is treason in my eyes. If Hungarian people don't step up to this, don't vote differently, don't vote him out of the office, they basically vote their country to be in the axis of evil with Russia. And Russia is with Iran and North Korea. Hungarian people, would you like to be in the same box with Russia and North Korea and Iran? It's a question. It's really, put it in the comments and I will read it because I haven't heard enough Hungarian voices. Now, my friends, I'll jump a few years back to when Putin was actually a little bit more energized and actually held speeches in the Russian State Duma. He don't do that no more. Well, check this out. The whole world envies us. They envy us. I'm telling you. I know what I'm saying. Я знаю, что я говорю. It's like, I know what I'm telling you. Believe me, trust me. The whole world is envying us. And now let's see what is there to envy. I bring you Russia. Look, you want to live, but not here. Vorkuta, Communist Republic, Russia. Now, Vorkuta is the exact Russian Soviet Gulag prison camp where my great-grandfather was killed. The father of my grandfather, my great-grandfather. He was deported there because he was a very wealthy and hard-working Estonian peasant farm owner, and he was killed. That's the city. My family roots there. You live like this. You go to the yard and you're greeted by this picture. This is Russia right now. I'm not showing you any isolated event or one isolated place. Oh, he picked a bad place. This is everything outside of St. Petersburg and Moscow and other bigger cities. This is the Russian smaller settlements. This is it, guys. Whole buildings abandoned. This is the center of the city. It's a dump. I can't believe these utilities with this dump. And people are walking around. When is this gonna stop, huh? Trash is a big issue in Russia because trash, ever since the 90s, the companies who were supposed to take care of delivering away trash, it's one of the easiest places to steal money from. The government gives you a lot of money, you're supposed to clean trash. You don't do that. You take the money and then you bribe the officials to again give you the contracts. So they just leave the trash on the streets and steal the money. There's no system or no clever scheme. It's very plain and simple theft. They just steal the money and leave the trash on the ground. They're selling each other debts while others go bankrupt. People who pay every month suffer. It's the conditions we live in. Yakutsk, Yakutia, Russia. By the way, you're seeing a highway. This is, I know this place already. This is a national it's a federal highway. This is not a village road. It is labeled as a federal highway in Russia. And it's not paved. Volgograd region, Russia. It's like IKEA, vomited up. Oh, this is juicy. By the way, Russians love IKEA. Like, they love it. They love the hell out of it because it's cheap. The houses here look like they've been renovated, but look at this place. The garbage isn't even picked up. The management company doesn't want to do anything. And by the way, the management company gets billions of rubles. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars. It's not maybe billions. It's a few hundred million ruble. Tens of millions of dollars for cleaning up the streets, keeping them clean, and they take the money and buy Maybachs. Why do I say Maybachs and Mercedes? It's because Russians are like, they love Mercedes. They're in love with that car. Why do I know this? Because before the sanctions, all of Russia's Mercedes went through Estonia. I saw them. Everybody saw them. Endless rows of trailers, big trailer vans filled with new S-classes, E-classes, G-wagons going to Moscow all through Estonia. I saw them. 50 trailers per day, perhaps just going and going. We're talking about tens of cars each day. Alright, the video is long, you get the point. I would love to watch it, but the video gets too long. Well, Russia is a shithole. Quote me on that. And since Russia is a shithole and they usually don't have the commodities we here in the West are very used to, I present to you a new weapon system designed to catch Russian soldiers. This is a very simple to produce weapon system. You put a toilet on a bench and you just add a huge Russian trap underneath it, so if they try to steal it, they get cut in half. I think it works. We haven't tried it yet. Now, my friends, I'll bring you an analysis of Pokrovsk. The main goal for the Russians right now, much like it was Bakhmut, much like it was Avdiivka, now it's Pokrovsk. They are pushed, unfortunately, quite successfully, closer to this settlement, 50 kilometers in the last 6 months. They have advanced. Pokrovsk is a major logistical hub and very important for Russians and for Ukrainians. Here are defensive lines around it. Engineering troops began digging new lines around Pokrovsk, but also, and for the first time, on the road to Dnipro. Here is a new analysis including high-resolution images. These few photos from the 23rd Engineering Positional Regiment of the Ukrainian Support Forces building Dragon's Teeth lines in the east are quite interesting. First, having engineering brigades is crucial for Ukraine to prepare fortified lines. On the Ukrainian front line, there were barely no trenches, only some dugouts. They started digging a lot in January 2024 after they saw Avdiivka fell because there were no defenses in Stepova, north of the city. And here we can see defense lines being dug around Pokrovsk, and here we can see, of course, 3 different defensive lines being already captured by the Russians. This is the new area they have captured. As you can see, it's like a very forced salient right here. They have stopped on line 3. They haven't crossed it for the last 1.5 months. Prior to those 1.5 months, 6 months before, this is those 3 defensive lines they crossed. So Ukraine desperately digs in around Pokrovsk. On this map, you can see how there are 2 rings around Pokrovsk. The city will be an important stronghold in the South Donetsk region. Russians are stopped in front of the 3rd line since a month and a half, but they may soon take the trenches defending this line. This is the reason Ukraine began preparing new defensive positions after Pokrovsk. The new line from the last days is a border of Donetsk and Dnipro Oblast. It seems it being dug between Meyova and Slavyanska, 2 important cities. Check this out, because this line goes together with the Oblast line. Pokrovsk is still in the Donetsk Oblast, you know, Putin's wet dream being occupying Donetsk fully. They still haven't done it, and Putin announced this goal at the first year of war after failing to take Kyiv. Well, they're still failing to do so. Anyway, this defensive line is only being dug because it separates two oblasts. Now, my friends, let's take a look at satellite images from Russian military bases where we used to see thousands, even tens of thousands of artillery pieces, infantry fighting vehicles, another empty arsenal in Russia. If you dig deeper into this topic, you'll find that most arsenals once filled to the brim with Soviet-era ammo have been used up. This won't change the battlefield as much as it should have due to the impact of glide bombs and North Korean artillery shells and Iranian drones. But check this out. This is the whole of military base. Now let's look at one by one the dugouts of ammunition. 4 different areas where they held a lot of ammunition, infantry fighting vehicles. This is the first one. All of these earthworks are filled with boxes. I'm presuming it's all ammunition because otherwise we would just see infantry fighting vehicles. And now most of them are empty. Some of them still filled, but some of them just plain empty. Let's look at this one. Filled with boxes, and in this one we can actually see some vehicles. All of it, almost all of it emptied out. Just gone. We can see it through satellite imagery, which don't lie. Another photo of another area filled, and this one is super empty, nothing left. This entire base is being emptied up because it's being grinded up in Ukraine. And another last one, you can see before and after, boom, another empty parking lots. Now what's up with this? Russia is using Soviet-era old infantry fighting vehicles, tanks and artillery. They are fixing them up, refurbishing them, modernizing some and pushing them into Ukraine. They don't make new infantry fighting vehicles and tanks, not even close to the amount that they're losing. Otherwise, this puts Russia, it gives them time, maximum 2 years. The math has been done, it's like 1.5 to 2 years, where they run out of old Soviet tanks and infantry fighting vehicles and artillery. Yes, at this tempo, it will take another 2 years. It's quite a long time. But after that, they cannot continue this war with the tempo they have right now. All of the successes, all of their land grabs have been possible because they have a massive storage of Soviet crap. If that runs out, they have to change their tactics very drastically, because everything they have achieved is through throwing Soviet infantry fighting vehicles and artillery at the problem. If they cannot use that anymore, what will they use? More Chinese golf carts? More bikes? Bicycles? We don't know. But the war will change in 2 years when they have run out of everything. But actually Ukraine will conduct a major counteroffensive before that. Let's see how it goes. Now I've talked about an issue that not many people talk about, which is Russian demographics. Here is a Russian guest on a propaganda show talking about this issue, and I think this is more deadly than any tank or bomb could be on the battlefield. We understand that what's happening in our country is not normal. What is happening in our country? We are dying out. People in charge of demographics and birth rate in our country didn't just bring the country to such a state that our country is dying out. Moreover, cases that we are now discussing are happening. Who are these people in charge of the demographics and birth rates in our country? Look at our national demography project that spent 4.5 trillion. Damn! 4.5 trillion rubles in 6 years to increase the birth rate by 1 decimal from 1.6 to 1.7 by 2024.
Демография было потрачено 4,5 триллиона рублей, чтобы коэффициент рождаемости поднять с 1,6 до 1,7 на 1/10 к 2024 году за 6 лет. В итоге
Vladimir Vladimirovich said, this is an interview with Dmitry Kiselev. Oh, so, well, I'll go again. Vladimir Vladimirovich said this in an interview with Dmitry Kiselev. As a result, the birth rate fell to 1.31.
В итоге коэффициент рождаемости упал с 1,.
Okay, I did them. We're talking about $500+ million, even more, close to $1 billion, but not quite. This is how much they invested in 5 years to fix the Russian birth rate issue, because it's falling like a stone. And by the result, the birth rate fell even faster. Because the money was stolen. I mean, it's Russia. cannot fix anything with money because it's just being taken away. Many have been talking about it. I mean, everybody, you know, Elon Musk came out of the closet even more by making a speech at Trump rally. Now, he is pro-Trump, he has tweeted about it many times, but now he made an official public speech at his rally. But before that, he, for some reason, decided to jump in the air many times. I'm sure you've seen the photos. Now look at this, this is where he's jumping. I'm getting to the point, we're going to look at the speech, but why does he do that? Look at that, look at Trump's face, look at Elon's face. He's jumping up like that, and I'm a little bit confused. Why do you do this? Also, why does he look like that now? Because I don't remember him looking like that. I remember him like 5-6 years ago when I actually followed him and respected him. Looked a lot different, Like, is he on something, on some drugs, or not really sure. Also, this is the photo when he was shaking Trump's hand. What's up with his face? If you know anything about the story, I mean, I don't follow it that closely, but what happened to Elon Musk? What happened to him? Like, if you look at him, it's not okay. You can see it in his eyes, he's not okay. What is the dude on? What is he taking? Now, my friends, I'll bring to you the speech of the world's richest man, Elon Musk, in a Trump rally in the United States.
Like, text people now. Now. Oh, and then make sure they actually do vote. If they don't, this will be the last election. That's my prediction. Nothing's more important. Nothing's more important. So get everyone you know. Everyone. So I'm speaking to people out there. Everyone in the crowd, I think, is already convinced. But for people out there that are watching the video, watching the live stream, you need to get everyone you know, at work, your friends, family, text groups, your social media, everything. Get them to register to vote right now. Only 2 days left for Georgia and Arizona. Only a couple weeks left in Pennsylvania. And if they're not ready...
So in my eyes, he's begging people to vote. Now, he's the richest man in the world, a man with a huge influence in the United States. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like him at all. I used to admire him for being who he was, like a very innovative man who had big ideas that actually meant something. But I feel like in the past 2-3 years, he has sold himself out. Also, his tweets are very Russian talking points. I mean, I know the Russian talking points in my head. I know everything that they are pushing. And Elon, for some reason, I don't know why, his opinions match these Russian talking points exactly. I don't know how this happened or why is this happening. I mean, he's an American, a rich American, supposed to be very anti-Russia, but he's not. I'm very confused. Why? Are his words matching Russian propaganda pushing points exactly? What do you think about this? Also, talking about Elon Musk's 2 tweets. For Twitter to deserve public trust, it must be politically neutral, which effectively means upsetting the far right and the far left equally. This is what he tweeted before he bought Twitter, and now after he bought Twitter, he's saying headed to Pennsylvania to speak at the Donald Trump rally in Butler. He's very political. So he's all out there. His tweets are different. Every time it feels like his moods are going up and down. It's like almost he's on drugs all the time. He's not a stable personality. He's tweeting very different things at different times of the day, and he has a lot of influence. So in my eyes, this is a very dangerous man, and he's not fighting for America in no way. Even me as a foreigner, which I see what America is all about, and I do understand it, he's not fighting for those interests. He's a very pro-Russian man. Also, I do love the movie The Shining, and Jack Nicholson is one of my favorite actors of all time. I just don't understand, like this, yeah, great movie, but how can Elon Musk look like that? What happened to him? I remember a very different Elon Musk back at the time when the Cybertruck was announced, for example. I hate electric vehicles, don't get me started on that. I can't stand them. I'm an old-fashioned gasoline guy and huge engines guy. But I remember Elon Musk being something that I admired. A big guy with big ideas. But this one is a goblin. What happened to him? Now, my friends, I'll do Monday's edition of my favorite part of the video, which is butchering with my Estonian pronunciation, the 5 monthly members of Buy Me a Coffee, the foundation of this channel who support me when YouTube goes up and down. Jonathan Harms, Tamon Eriksson, Joshua McDonald, Rupert Wolfe Murray, The Doctor 6149, Baldi Bob. Thank you to each and every one of you, and until my next video, if you like my channel, become a monthly member and be sure to be back. Slava Ukraini, and bye bye.